The Smithsonian, known worldwide for not just networks of fantastic museums and organizations, but of course, research and information. And Dr. Mac Farnham is going to join us.
Thank you, Lord Hastings. And hello and greetings, everyone. My name is Mac, and I'm a public health veterinarian working as the Director of Training for the Global Health Program at the Smithsonian's Conservation Biology Institute. I have a really cool job in that I get to work at a zoo and with colleagues and counterparts from around the world dedicated to wildlife and environmental conservation and healthy populations of humans and animals. Our mission at the National Zoo and Smithsonian Conservation Biology Institute is to save species globally, which puts our work right in the action at the critical intersection between wildlife, domestic animals, humans, and our shared environments. Three messages to start and finish with today are: 1, that we are all connected, humans, animals, and the environment. 2, that collaborative One Health approaches and understanding are needed to address global grand challenges across the human-animal environmental interface. And most importantly for World Environment Day today is 3, that your thoughts, your questions, and arguments are critical to make positive impacts on our shared environment. Global grand challenges, including species survival, food insecurity, diminishing natural resources, climate change, and emerging infectious diseases like the COVID-19 virus, are highly complex. We know all of these challenges are driven in large part by an exponentially expanding global human population, human behaviors, and human activity.
Hi, Matt, that was fantastic. One thing about the Global Classroom, we bring the views of children around the world and questions around the world. And our first live question beaming in for you is going to come from South Africa. And I'm going to ask Jade to come in and ask her question to you live in the Global Classroom. I was going to see if Jade can get a camera on for us and see if she's live now with us and to say hello. Jade, how are things with you in South Africa? You okay?
I'm well, thank you.
Wonderful, Jade. Great to see you. So you're now live with Mac after hearing what he said. What's your question for him?
Some reports suggest that wildlife consumption may have caused COVID-19. Wouldn't movement towards a plant-based diet cause fewer diseases and reduce environmental damage?
Wow. Hi there, Jade, and many thanks for this question. And just those couple of sentences, you really dive right into several of the global grand challenges I've just mentioned. Exponential growth in our global human population, diminishing natural resources, land use changes, climate change. All of these means we really face a huge challenge in providing safe nutritional food for the world. What we do know is that the current COVID pandemic is caused by a virus called SARS-CoV-2 or SARS coronavirus 2. And by comparing that genetic code of SARS-CoV-2 with other coronaviruses, we know that there is a close similarity with coronavirus found in bats. But this is not a definitive and direct link, which is one of the most frustrating things about virology and epidemiology, that direct transmission route along with cause and effect are really hard to demonstrate. Even transitioning to plant-based diet still requires land to grow those commodities, land which is a limited resource with our increasing global population. And even plant-based diets are not free from risks of disease. I've worked on some huge outbreaks of foodborne diseases like salmonella and enterotoxigenic E. coli coming from salads and jalapeno peppers. So we use science to help us understand and reduce risks of disease transmission. When and where we can, we step in to eliminate those risks. Risks like having multiple species mixed together in a market where they are stressed out and can have a higher risk of transmitting a disease between each other. It takes a really good and thorough understanding of the complex and dynamic systems so we can use that understanding to globally produce safe and secure food supplies. I hope that addresses some of your question. Thanks, Jade.
That was great, Mike. Thank you for that wonderful answer behind that as well. Our next question is actually going to come from Charlie in the UK in Scarisbrick. And I think Charlie's going to come on live in a second, and he's got an interesting question to ask of you and a fascinating one. So, Charlie, is your camera working okay? Can I get it turned on and see if we can see you in the classroom? Wonderful. So I've got Mac here for you. What's your question for him?
My question is, do you think COVID-19 will be with us forever like the common cold? or more like the Spanish flu and go away?
Oh, wow, Charlie, thank you, and hello. This is another important question, and one that epidemiologists, virologists, scientists, and doctors are working right now really hard to answer. We do unfortunately think that COVID-19, the SARS-CoV-2, is here to stay. Coronaviruses and influenza viruses that you mentioned are some of the most complicated because their genetic makeup is of RNA, or ribonucleic acid. RNA viruses are known to rapidly mutate and change over time and as they move through mammalian hosts. Sometimes these mutations make them more virulent or deadly, and sometimes less. So we're really grappling with this question right now as to how we can reduce the transmission rates and try to reduce those risks of transmitting this new virus across human populations. So the honest answer is that we think it's here to stay, and we're not quite sure what the future will bring with SARS-CoV-2. Thanks again, Charlie.